Crystal, there's this cool line of islands stretching north to south, kind of like the dividing line between the Caribbean and the Atlantic Ocean. And you went to one of them.
I did.
Would you mind sharing your story on today's show?
Well, of course. I can't wait to tell you. I'm glad you looked up that fun fact.
I did. It's really cool. It's like you got this straight line, and then just off to the right is this tiny 166 square mile island just off the dotted line of this main chain. It's inclusive resorts. It's sun nearly every day. They call it Barbados.
Woohoo! Yes, you guys strap in. This is my third time going, so you're going to hear a lot of. Yes. I deem myself. I'm a self-proclaimed expert in tagging along with my friends that go because this is my third time with the same people also. So get ready.
Perfect way to do it.
Yes. And then at the end of this episode and every show, you are going to hear our gear of the day pick. So if you're looking for best in class gear that's worth the price, you're going to head to our Amazon page at stackingadventures.com/GOTD or gear of the day. You'll help the show and you're going to help yourself adventure better and for less money. And you're going to pick up stuff that it's not only recommended by me and Joe, but also by our guests. And you're going to pick up something that's Crystal Joe-alicious. I love that word.
You tell all your friends.
Please.
All right, do it, Crystal.
Let's get this show on the road.
Ready for adventure? From vacation to staycation, and from the mountains to the beach. This is the Stacking Adventures podcast.
Welcome back to the Stacking Adventures podcast. Woo! We head around the world with our adventure community. Every adventure has a story. We love to hear yours. And today we get to hear the Crystal Hammond story. She's Crystal Hammond.
And I'm Joe Saul-Sehy. He's Joe.
And as always, so I tried to wear a travel shirt just for you, Crystal. Palm Springs, beautiful Palm Springs, where FinCon will be next year. So
right.
We get to go there.
About that. I've never been to Palm. Yeah, I've never been there. And I'm wearing. Go ahead.
Yes. Lots of mid-century modern houses, like 50s and 60s, like that style, like really
Deco or something. I'm thinking Art Deco kind of deal.
Really neat, really super neat. And you are wearing a shirt just for me as well.
My Buckeye shirt, Ohio State. We're playing UCLA, right? I think it's UCLA tonight. So
it's
Sunday
so
night, Saturday night football. Let's do it.
Just disgusting. Oh, who wants to watch that? But I do want to hear about Barbados, Crystal. And I did some homework on Barbados.
Did you?
It was originally, of course, like all of the Caribbean islands, there were indigenous people living there before the Spanish came along. Now, different than a lot of the places, the Spanish were only there a short amount of time before the Portuguese showed up. They were also only there a short amount of time. Ultimately, for a long time, Barbados was a British colony. And then from the 1960s, when they got their independence, through 2021, they had a queen. And then in 2021, it became a republic, and now they have a president.
Yeah, and they do a big Independence Day celebration, too. It's around Christmas time. But now that we got the boring stuff out of the way, thanks for that, Joe. Let's get to the fun.
Why did you decide to go to this wonderful former British colony?
Okay, so my friends, they did all the planning. One of my two of my best friends, they're a married couple also. So the guy's from there. And so he actually visited family too while we were there. Sometimes like when I go to Chicago, sometimes you tell them you're coming, sometimes you don't. So it's always like 50-50. But I decided to tag along with my friend's trip. I was there because they live in Chicago also. So I was visiting them. They're like, hey, we're going. And then there was another thing, like that's how I went to Switzerland. After they told me about it, I just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Is it these same friends that you went to Switzerland with? Oh, cool.
Oh, no, different set of friends.
Different people, okay.
Yeah. But it was just like, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Because they even went this is their second time going this year. And I was like, oh, have fun. But I don't know what was different about this time. I was like, you know what? Count me in. So then immediately I went to see if I can get on their flights, because first of all, first step is Google Flights to look up the flights and then compare those prices with what was in the portal. And so I just looked for a flight where we could be on the same connecting flight. So ended up flying through Delta going, and we met up in Atlanta. So they fly direct from Atlanta, and then coming home flew on American Airlines, which that was a connection through Miami. And there was also a hurricane happening around that time
No.
But Barbados is so far west that it usually does not get hit by the hurricane. So,
far east.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So far east. I guess depending on how you're looking at the globe.
If you look it upside down.
I was wondering where, if you look at the globe upside down, that's funny. But so we weren't anywhere near, but it was also interesting because we met a couple that was staying at the Sandals, and they were saying that they had prepaid for their trip to Jamaica for a long time. And the week before they were like, hey, do you guys want to go to Barbados instead? And they were like, yeah, because I like how they actually, give you a chance to go somewhere else if there's like a hurricane.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're saying Sandals called them and said, would you prefer to go to some other island?
Yep. And
that's fantastic.
Like, yeah. And they appeared to be having a great time. So that's how I ended up going. It was last minute. My round trip flight, I think it was around $900 too, but it was a last minute deal. It was a last minute ticket.
Okay. So that part was a little expensive. Was Barbados itself expensive?
Not really, but it depends on what your flavor is, because we stayed at two different places. And the first half was a really expensive, like all-inclusive resort that was really, really nice. And then the second half was the way, way cheaper option. So we did a little bit of both, and we did a lot of things to save. You'll hear what we did to save a lot of money. But another thing about the flight too, since it was an international flight with two different airlines, please make sure you check in early, because I had to resubmit like passport information and just give a little more information, since it looked like I was just flying one way into, another country. And
it was one way there and then one way there and then one way back. Yeah.
Right. So I had to do a little extra diligence for the flight just because it was one way. But always look, because I hadn't looked. I just blindly used the portal, and the flights were crazy expensive. And my friend was like, no. Uncheck this, and make sure that we're just going to pick two different airlines. So have it look for two different airlines too.
Gotcha. Instead of taking just one airline the whole way.
Exactly. Yep.
So you save money by doing it like it's two one-way trips, which I think is a great tip, because generally you don't, but you should always look.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely look. I hadn't looked before, so now I know.
You also then got to pick two different airlines, and you connected through two different cities. Can we talk about that for a second? Which of the two airlines did you like better, Delta or American?
I mean, it wasn't that big of a difference. I think airlines are airlines, because I always get the app, you guys. Always. Let me say it again. Get the app, put it on your phone. That way you can add the tickets to your wallet, and that way you have real-time information, because even coming back, we had to leave my friend's husband there because we did not get in the airport in time to check the bags.
Oh, no.
It's just it's a small airport. So all of the staff that checks you in security, also at a certain time, they leave the front desk to go to service. To the gate. So make sure you leave plenty of time. And we had a car to return. We had a lot to do. So we just didn't budget enough time to check a bag.
We had that in Texarkana. Nick, my son, was leaving, and we generally show up last minute, and he couldn't get his ticket to come up. Now, luckily, he wasn't checking a bag, but he could not figure out. We had to leave the airport just so he could get a signal. There was it was so weird. We had to go get a signal, and then we had to struggle because he didn't have the app on his phone, and he didn't have the ticket ready. And the staff had already left at our little Texarkana airport, because they do the same thing at our airport. You don't have to be there 90 minutes early because it's domestic flights. But when you're Barbados, every flight's international.
Right. And definitely make sure even for having the app too, because they can mark you as a no-show after a certain amount of time also, just because of that reason. A lot of the staff, they have to go from the check-in in the front to the gate. So
and then they give it to somebody on standby.
Exactly. So just don't have that happen. Don't do it.
Wow. Well, getting the airport super early. You wouldn't think you'd have to get there 90 minutes early because I can't imagine the Barbados airport is all that big anyway.
It's tiny. And that's why, and of course they've been there so many times. It's like, oh yeah, it's tiny. We'll even have time to go to the airport lounge and we'll have so much extra time. Like they just didn't want to be sitting around, just waiting, which.
And turns out one of them had to wait a lot longer.
Yeah.
How long did they have to wait for the next flight?
The very next day, like it's the exact same time the next day. So
one more day. So it's but still
it's
24 more hours. That's
exactly. Yeah. So he had to re-rent a car and then get another room at the hotel that we had just left. But
well, if he's the guy that lived there, I would have then moved in with family for a day.
Maybe.
Sucked it up. Okay, so you get there and you get out of this little airport. It said when I was trying to do a little bit of homework, it said it's sunny like every day, like even during the low season, that it rains sometimes, but it's mostly still sun. Did you have mostly sun?
Yes, and I miss the sun because I came home to 30-degree weather. I really miss the sun, and it sunned every day. The sun was sunning, but even the rain too. We got rained on one of the mornings because, of course, every morning we would get up and try to catch the sunrise. I think I only caught it twice out of the 7 days, but we did get up and then start our day with a walk along the beach. The second half, there was a really nice boardwalk that we walked up and down in the mornings. But one of the mornings, it stormed, and it was our watch predicted that it would rain at 7 and 7:01. Monsoon, and it's beautiful because it's an island, so you could see the rain coming. And I was like, oh boy, is that coming our way? We're like, we don't know, like we're not, because it was just me and my friend. Her husband has slept in, and so we were like, we think so. And it stormed, but by the time we got out of the water, it had stopped already. So it was like a monsoon for maybe like 20 minutes, and then sun came right back out. And even when we got back in the house and I was drying my shorts outside, didn't even notice that it rained again because I'm like, why are my shorts still wet? And yeah, it was pouring, but the sun was still out. So of course we saw really nice rainbows, but 80s, we looked up, we were like, I think it's between 11 and 13 degrees away from the equator. So the sun was just.
And I got to imagine those ocean breezes off the Atlantic Ocean too, just incredible.
Yeah. It didn't feel like. Another thing about packing, of course I overpacked. I literally wore the same thing probably most of the trip, at least half the trip. I had my 2 pair of Costco workout shorts on top of my bikini and a hat. Please take a hat. You want a hat because the sun is brutal. So definitely do not forget a hat and sunscreen.
Let's talk about the nature of all-inclusive, because I have such mixed feelings. When I've stayed in all-inclusive, I've absolutely loved it. We did that in Cabo. But I also feel like when I'm at all-inclusive and I'm really enjoying the resort, I'm not getting to check out the island or the area as much because I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of the all-inclusive stuff. So you did both. How did you like the all-inclusive versus doing non-all-inclusive the second half of your trip?
So pros and cons, huge pros and cons here. So we stayed at the O2s. It's called O2s Resort and Beach Spa. Beautiful, beautiful place. So it has breakfast, lunch, dinner. There's a whole bunch of bars. There's a rooftop bar. It was pretty empty most of the time too, but then there's a galleyway bar. There's a bar next to the check-in, like where the pools are and where the lunch is served. I want to say there might have been like 4 different restaurants, a couple different bars, and then there's a fancy pants restaurant also. So a con is that I was the con. I ate too much. Talking about getting your money's worth. And the good thing about the breakfast, they always had Bajan food. Like they would have fritters, different baked bakes and pastries. Obviously, omelet station. You can get whatever you want in the omelets. The crackers, these are the best crackers I've ever had. You could tell that they were like real fresh baked crackers, like for soups and chilies. So that food was delicious. They also had mini refrigerators throughout the resort. They would have fruit, they would have drinks, waters, sandwiches, hummus, parfaits. Like they were full of snacks. So you will not go hungry while at any point on the resort. They also had different themed lunches and dinners. Sometimes it would be barbecue day. But the one thing, you have to have flying fish while you're there. I guess they jump and it looks like they are flying, but best fish I've had. So definitely have flying fish. But whatever you want also with this resort, the chef, you just tell anyone and they will cook it for you. Like the chef will prepare it for you. So if you want a certain steak every single day, or you want a certain fish, like I want branzino or snapper, I want it every single day. Like they'll have it for you. You just tell them what you want.
No upcharge.
What meal. No upcharge at all. No. Yeah. Nothing was an upcharge either. Like that's what I liked. The only thing was tipping. Just make sure you have money for tipping, because we went through a lot of our cash and it was all tipping, but
what's the currency in Barbados?
It's Bajan dollars. And let's see, what was the conversion rate? I don't remember what the conversion rate was, but they did take dollars.
They did take.
We tipped in cash.
Tipped in U.S. currency.
Yes, U.S. dollars.
A friend of mine, when I went to Bali, did a great job of helping like everybody that was going on this trip. It was a conference I was speaking at, and she made this fantastic phone screensaver. Right now I have the planet of Neptune up, but instead of the planet, it was right on my phone, my phone, main screen. It just had the conversion rate, and I could easily, whenever I was anywhere, just look at my phone. And so I have to ask her how to make that, because I would love to do that wherever I go and just have it right on my phone where I can just go, okay, that's going to be, yeah.
I did something similar, like with my notes, because when I went to Thailand, the conversion was weird. So I was like, okay, $20 equals this. And, I just did it by $1, $5, $10, $20. Like that's what it. So, but Barbados was easy. It was half. So $1 was,
50 cents.
Yeah, so it was, yep. So that was an easy conversion.
Did things feel expensive or cheap or about the same as in the U.S.?
That's a good question. It felt cheaper because there was a KFC. We went to the KFC. They have a Chefette. That's their version of KFC. We went to that store too. And we also ate at a lot of the mom and pop shops. So it felt right on par, because even some of the souvenir places, they knew, they could tell we were Americans. So they were quoting in US dollars, but we would always get change in Bajan dollars. But going back to the resort also.
Yeah.
We were that resort is actually right next to the Sandals, but it's also near St. Lawrence Gap. And that's a strip. We walked, so we left the resort every day because the beach that was actually right next to our hotel was nicer than the one on our hotel. And I never knew. I was always thinking, okay, a beach is a beach, whatever. But no, some beaches have more or less rocks. So the hotel beach was a little more rock, had more rocks in the and also it was just the water. I don't know if it was a little more, it was a smaller beach. So the water seemed not rougher, but I guess that depends on the ships and stuff. But there was a cutway where you can walk around this a wall, and it was a wall of crabs. Like, just be careful of the crabs. But you can either go around and take the street to the next beach, or you could just walk through the water. And it was low tide, so we just walked through the water a lot of the times. But St. Lawrence Gap, it's a place. It has nightclubs. It's a really good nightlife. So we walked that almost every day. Like every morning we would walk that also on our walk. And then in the evenings we would walk, because they had, I would say, probably 6 or 7 clubs down the way. And it is so funny because there were different people in all of them. Because I forgot the name of the one. They were like, don't go to that one. And so we walk on that one first, and it's full of 80-year-olds. And so then we go to the next one and it's full of the, not teeny boppers, but
Yeah.
it was cool that there was like different clubs for everybody. So every night we were there, we did walk down and we went to the clubs. And
I
that
feel like
was
you're
a lot of
describing the
fun.
Barbados version of the Three Bears, like too young, too old,
Yes,
just right.
Yes, definitely. You will see that. So walking down the St. Lawrence Gap, that was a good one because we did get a flavor of off the resort and on the resort. But on the resort also, the staff was amazing, and they had a lot of local foods, drinks, and everything that were on the resort also.
A reason that people don't like Jamaica is when you're outside of the all-inclusive resort, the locals have a reputation for just hassling tourists, right? Hustling and hassling tourists. And so I know from a lot of people who've gone to Jamaica that especially they don't know locals. I will say, if you know some locals in Jamaica and you can get into the local culture, it's fantastic. But if they know that you are a tourist, like you're just a human wallet walking, and beware. It doesn't sound like that's Barbados. It sounds like Barbados local culture is much different than that.
And I think also it's so small, such a small island. Like there were tourists everywhere. Everywhere we went, I feel like too. Because even a lot of times me and my friend, like we would go without her husband walking. And one of the times, I think I just said that we were walking with no shoes on because we were going from the beach to that was when it started raining on us. So we were running back to like our side of the wall, but we were like, okay, it's raining. We can't walk back, through the water. So we walked around and we were walking with no shoes on, but it was perfectly fine. And there were guys sitting there one day, they'd be playing chess or playing cards and they would laugh at us or, say stuff, and then we would talk back to them. So I didn't have a time where we didn't feel safe there, but you always want to stay alert.
Sure.
But definitely it was.
Yeah, it sounds like a great vibe. I want to ask more questions about flying fish. I know you got some free offerings from the resort. I want to ask you about that. I want to talk about the second half, but we got the music coming up, Crystal, and that means It's time for the gear of the day.
Ooh, all right. It is. And that's line. I like saying that. I love saying that. All right, Joe, we're halfway through today's show. So it's time for our road trip pit stop. So on the pit stop, you're always dreaming about what's at the end of the adventure. How cool will it be when we get there? And I'm always thinking, are we there yet? Can we fast forward and just get there already? Sometimes the journey is supposed to be part of I don't know what the phrase is, but I'm like, whatever. I just want to get there. So our pit stop is always a hint at our gear of the day. And you can see past gear of the day at stackingadventures.com/GOTD. So Joe, what's our hint at the gear of the day?
Our hint is, we know how much Crystal dominates this podcast with all of her incessant talking, just blah, 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 blah. And let's say that she's having trouble doing that on a trip and you're having trouble talking to people. This helps you talk to people better.
Huh.
I stumped the Crystal.
You stumped the Crystal. Let me think, and I'll have a guess when we come back.
From lashes for days with the viral Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara to lift and color from their brilliant eye brightener, Thrive Cosmetics is the go-to for amplifying everyday looks. Plus, every product is 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and made with clean, skin-loving ingredients that work with your skin. Amplify your everyday. Go to thrivecosmetics.com/shine26 for an exclusive offer of 20% off your first order. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/shine26.
All right, Crystal, this helps you communicate better when it's just the words just aren't coming out like they should. Maybe I'll give you a little bit more of a hint. Maybe it's because of the fact that, like the last day of a conference, you've been talking a lot, or you stayed up all night at the resort with at the club with the 80s people screaming, they're all at the 80-year-old rave.
Yeah. The rave.
Turn that stuff down, Gramps. It's so loud that you have trouble with your voice.
Oh, your laryngitis. It has to be tea, some kind of a tea or a cough drop. I was going to say sign language when you said a translator of sign language, ASL, if you're having trouble communicating. It's like, oh yeah, get a sign, learn sign language.
My problem with sign language is not only do you have to know sign language, the person you're talking to has to know sign language. You can sign language to me all day. I'd have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
So then no.
All right. We'll tell you at the end of today's show what we're adding to our Gear of the Day page that you can find at stackingadventures.com/GOTD. I really like, by the way, Nathan and Catherine's, those hooks. I went and bought some right away.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Because we're doing that cruise down the river.
Oh, yeah. I have so many command hooks because I bought them from Costco one time. I wonder if I should start taking those. I don't know. Okay. So all right. Something I forgot to mention at the airport. They have a really good bakery at the airport. The name changes, but this time it's Crumbs, but the location's always the same. Make sure you try the patties. Like I like the beef patties, but they have like saltfish, chicken, and lentil. Well, no, the lentil one was really good too.
This is at the bakery?
Cake. At the airport after you get off the plane, because it's the Caribbean island. So you're stepping off, like after you clear customs, when you get out right outside, you're outside, literally outside. And there is a stand with a food stand. And so you'll want a snack.
I have never heard anybody say before, Crystal, eat at the airport because the food's really good. Like that
right outside. And it's a handheld. So you're going to eat it on the go, like as you're either waiting for your ride or something, like you're going to eat it on the go. So definitely the bakery is literally, they make it easy. We also bought duty-free alcohol. The place was a madhouse. It was super busy, but it was cheaper. So we did get some duty-free also to take with us, but not for the all-inclusive part because all alcohol was included. They even had alcohol in our rooms. There's supposed to be a washer and dryer in our room, but it wasn't because we had brought laundry stuff also. I guess certain rooms have it and some don't. So if you pick that place, definitely ask and say that's your preference.
Yeah.
And we went to the gym too in there. So another thing, so remember, it's almost like we were treating it like it was the airport lounge. So for our second half, we stayed at the Rockley. And so that was not all inclusive, but breakfast was included. So we made sure we loaded up on waters, snacks.
While you were at the all inclusive.
Exactly. Yes. Because they give you bottles of champagne in your room. Like they're in your fridge. If you want beers, they'll say, hey, we need more beer. They'll bring whatever beers you want. Or it wasn't whatever beers. I don't know what kinds they had because I don't drink beer, but we did. We kept like every day, we're like, okay, we would like more beer. They even had different bottles of alcohol. So
I would just start to feel really bad if I drank every day.
You do. Well, not that you wouldn't, but I didn't. Did I drink every single day? But you're in the Caribbean.
I know.
And we got one of the days we got 25,000 steps. Like I was posting my step count. So we really did a lot of walking. And I'm a water person.
At the Christmas market, same thing. I mean, I'll be drinking every day, but I'll also be pretty active.
And it's not getting smashed every day. It's like,
good point.
You're just trying different stuff. You're not like, all right, give me 10 more. Also, another cool thing they had at the hotel before we leave it, they had high tea every day with very, very fancy teas, a lot of the flavors I'd never heard of before. And they had really nice snacks and they set it up really, really nice. So definitely make sure you know what's going on every single day at the hotel, because I wanted to go to the yoga, but I missed it. But they had other things that I kind of wanted to do, but maybe not because I didn't make it. But I did kayak. That was also included. So that's
free. I was going to ask you about that next.
Yep. Water sports. Those were free. I am not a good paddle boarder. I just can't stand up on that thing. I don't know maybe it's because I'm tall. My center of gravity is high. I mean, that's the excuse I'm selling, but I'm not good at that. But the kayaking was fun. And he didn't let me go by myself because it's the ocean. It's totally different from the kayaking that I've done over here. And even that resort, it's not in like a little cove. So it is like ocean kayaking. But
the current could take you out.
Oh, yeah.
You've got
no
idea.
But it was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun with the current.
That's fantastic. On the afternoon tea, it's funny how some places, the roots, you can really feel the different cultures, and that would be a British holdover, I would think. The whole afternoon high tea, part of the British thing.
And there was a rum tasting also at that hotel. And we were the only ones that showed up for it too. That was another thing that was shocking because I think it was Dewar's, what's it called? Not Dewar's. I'll think of the name. But one of the alcohol brands that's made in Barbados, that's what we were tasting. And we were tasting like the different versions of it. And they had the really cute, glasses and everything for us. And for the fancy pants dinner place, like there is a dress code and you have to make a reservation. And when you're staying there, you get 2 nights that you can make a reservation. But if you're nice, what can they do? They can just say no. You can definitely ask if they've had any cancellations, after you've already gone twice to see if you can go a third time. So if you're nice, definitely ask, because what can they say no? We also ask for a late checkout. And then we also make sure that you still have access on checkout day, even though checkout is at 11. We got extended to noon, but we also had access to lunch and all the bars and the pools till 4 o'clock. So definitely make sure you know that even when you're planning your exit. But I think they only have one flight that leaves in the afternoon, or not one flight, but like a common time. So make sure you take full advantage of what's there in and out on your check-in and check-out days.
What does flying fish taste like? Is it more meatier like a halibut, or is it flakier like a mahi-mahi?
It's meatier, but no, because halibut, sea bass is the heaviest. It's like mahi-mahi, but they're small. So usually when you get it too, you're getting more than one piece every time. But there was a lot of that. The flying fish is small. Marlin too. So that fish had that at one of the stands. It's called Cuzzo's, and he's actually famous, TikTok famous or Instagram famous. So that sandwich was amazing. And I'm plain. I was like, no sauce. Well, the pepper sauce, you will love the pepper sauce in Barbados. But they have a hot one called One Drop, and it really is hot. I would just dip my fork into it and then spread. Like whatever fit on the tips of the 4 prongs of the fork is
just a tiny bit.
Yes, but most of the breakfast places, the first place, O2's, is the one that had the One Drop. But the other places, it was not as hot. But that one was super hot. But it is very good.
What was the architecture like when you, because you said it was beautiful? Is it your typical beach resort, Caribbean beach resort that you kind of have in your head, where it's like a concrete facility with just nice palm trees and palmettos? Or
definitely the nice trees, a lot of wood, but like not splinter wood, but wood like the floors, so you won't slip and fall.
Oh yeah,
like dark wood, but it was very, very modern. I don't know how new it is. It looked very new to me, but it was like typical grass, pool, bars, drinks, music playing. Also, they played at the different areas played different music. Sometimes every night there was a band outside playing, and we did ask for Caribbean music when we were at the rooftop, because they were playing like EDM.
I'm surprised they weren't playing Caribbean music.
It was EDM, but it's like they want to cater to the larger audience, because there were a lot of Canadians that we actually ran into. We ran into some people from London, some people from Trinidad. We ran into a really nice couple on the beach, and they actually showed us where they were staying. They were staying right next to the hotel in some condos. And we actually looked up the condo and may stay there next time, because it was way cheaper. And it was 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms.
Wow.
Really, really nice condos. And they were literally right there.
I looked up as I was trying to get just my idea, because I knew nothing about Barbados. And it seems to attract a large contingent of British people still.
Yeah, I could see that.
Definitely, because of the relationship that they had with Britain for a long time. When you were there, you wrote me that you booked a couple tours.
Oh, yes. So the tours, crazy, crazy fun. So we did the ATV UTV tour, where
what is that?
the off-road vehicles.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you can be up to 4 in one of the buggies, or you can be 2 in. There's a 2-seater buggy, and it has like the poles, not a golf cart, but because it has the big wheels. Or you
Yeah.
could be by yourself. So we picked, since it was 3 of us, we just did 2 in 1, because they actually sold out of the 4 for all of us to just ride together. It was crazy fun. Like, you're riding through these fields, then there's beautiful trees. We even saw there were ladies working in the field, like pulling I don't know what they were pulling, like fruit, or I don't know what they were doing, but that was really fun. It was with Off-Road Fury Barbados. Then in the middle, we got muddy, head to toe mud. Like, you do wear a helmet, and you do wear like the face mask, but it covers your hair and your face, because mud, I'm telling you, when I was head to toe mud, because you're plowing through mud, and you get a rainfall of mud all everywhere. But in the middle, we got super soakers. So and water balloons. So we were getting cleaned off by each other with a little party in the middle. And of course, there was rum and water in our little middle break. And then we go back. It was, let me see, maybe an hour. I don't know if it was quite 2 hours, between an hour and 2 hours, but 100% worth it. That was crazy fun. And the next day we did the Jeep safari tour.
Safari.
So that one, yes. So it was 9 of us. There was no safari. We didn't see animals. Well, we saw monkeys once, but it takes you all
There are monkeys
around.
on Barbados.
There are, yes. Yep. We saw them on the boardwalk when we were staying at the second place at the Rockley. But it's a tour of the whole island. So we got to see other really nice beaches that we actually went back to. You stop at a bakery. There was another bakery that had really good food. We were on the top of like a cliff. That was really nice that we went to get good shots. There were cows. So then there's also a difference between the goat and the sheep. The sheep looked exactly like goats to us, but they were like, no, sheep don't have horns, or I don't know, whatever it was, but their sheep are the same color as goats, like the dark snout and brown. They weren't, big fluffy sheep that we think of, which was very interesting. But yeah, we saw cows. We rode through a lot. I guess I said we didn't see any animals, and I'm talking about all the animals we saw.
Right.
There was a really cool train ride you can do where we were at the same stop. Everybody has to get off and help them switch the track, because it reverses, like the caboose goes to the front of the other side when they go to take you back through the town. So that was a really cool thing to see, because we actually saw them having trouble with switching the caboose to go from the front to the back. So that was really cool to see. There was also, I guess, one of the trucks had flipped. It was one of the construction trucks, so we had to actually do a detour. But that tour was a really good idea, because, again, on that tour also, we got a little muddy. And that was when we met the couple from Sandals. And another cool thing about the tours, too, they will come pick you up. Since we had a car, we went to meet up with them, but definitely get there early. It was funny because the first day we got there early, but we ended up waiting a long time because we had to sign waivers and, safety and all that stuff. But it was funny because we were like, okay, we're not going early to the second one. And then they were waiting for us because we didn't realize that they went to the other hotels to pick up the other guests. And then they were waiting like at the home base for us to arrive, which was fun though. But that one was also fun because that was a talking tour where the guy, had the speaker and, he was just talking to us about the history. And he took us to the rich area, of course, where Rihanna lived. I don't know if she still has the house there. And then we got to see like the fancy pants shopping areas and stuff like that. So you'll get to see the different parts of islands where you would see yourself hanging out. Like there was cute coffee shops over there. And
did you spend time going back to the fancy shopping area?
No, we were too cheap. That's what I like. I brought back, it was like food. I was more focused on the food than the shopping, just because I knew I did have a roller bag and a backpack. And even though I had all those clothes, I literally wore the same thing. Even when we went to the fancy dinner, the one night I wore a skirt. And this is funny because this is a skirt that my friend's mom gave me years ago. She wore the skirt the next day to the dinner. We weren't even wearing our own clothes. Yes. But we also, at that second hotel too, we did, they had a mixology class, and I won one of the rounds of the mixology class. But they had karaoke. Well, another place you have to go when you're in Barbados is Oystons. That's like the best fish you will have on the island. They are known for their fish. They call macaroni and cheese macaroni pie because it's thick. It's really good, but I did karaoke there. My friends were too chicken to do karaoke. I was like, let's do it. Let's go all out. So they had karaoke there. Can't keep my eyes off you with the Fugees.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the kids didn't even know the song because there was someone there that actually knew how to sing. And I was like, hey, come hit the high notes. And he's like, oh, I never heard this song. I was like, oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. But that's a cool Oystons. A lot of the
song.
Right. A lot of the resorts, they do like one of the nights off the resort. They actually have a shuttle that takes everybody there. We didn't go because we knew we were going to go on our own. But that's also cool that they do like a big fish fry one night of the week. And so a lot of the resorts, they all take their guests there. So 9 times out of 10, your hotel will take you there. But there was another cool place called Sauvy on the Bay. And that's one of the beaches. Really, really, that was one of the best beaches. That beach, they have like this row of food trucks that leads to the beach. And even on the beach, they have a lot of bars on the beach. And another cool thing, always
you stay there all day.
You really can. And you take your water bottle because they have some of the cleanest water I've ever tasted on earth. Like they're the city or the state, the government, they provide these water huts. Well, it's not even a hut. It's like it's a small building, but it's just water. So you hold your cup up to it and it fills it with water. But it's some of the purest water. Like it's filtered, but it's just, I don't know. I'm talking about water. That's how clean and clear it was. And it was delicious.
That is cool. I like that in some of the cities you go to in Europe. It's amazing to know that in Rome, they have these fountains all over the place, and you can just put your cup up there in Rome and drink water from these cisterns that, thousands of years old, and yet super clean water, super safe water.
Very.
That's wild. Did you do any snorkeling?
No, that was not but at that beach where Sauvy on the Bay is, you can snorkel because one of the kids, there were some kids that were clearly cutting school that day because we were ear hustling. It was one of their birthdays. So they were cutting school, but they had quote unquote borrowed someone's fins and the goggles because then it was funny because after they were finished, they were like, hey, are you done with this? This is my wife's. And they were like, oh, sorry. But I didn't have my camera that day. And I was like, of course, the day you bring me to the beach where there's fish swimming by us, I don't have my camera. But there were little tiny schools of fish swimming right by us. That's on cool. That beach. And Browns Beach is close to that one too, and that's the one where they have like the obstacle course. They had a big blow up of like different rides and obstacles and slides and stuff right on the beach. So that's another cool beach that you will want to try to see while you're there.
Obstacle course on the beach.
Yes, it was this big floating heap of, think of what's that show when they're
not Fear Factor, but the other the Ninja Warrior or whatever.
Yes, it's like a Ninja Warrior kind of obstacle course that's on the water. It's just a whole bunch of floating. You see just a floating sea of all these different things.
And you're trying to make it the whole way.
Yeah.
Without falling
so that
in.
Looked cool. That looked really cool.
When you were talking about paddleboarding, we did paddleboarding in Biscayne Bay National Park. And it was really neat because you're going through these mangroves, you're out quite a ways near these islands. And my problem with paddleboarding always is I just want to jump in the water. I don't like being that close to the water, and I'm not in the water. I'm paddling and I'm like, wouldn't it be great to just be in that?
In there.
And I don't know.
Well, because it's beautiful. Is it as beautiful as the Caribbean? Because that water, you can see your feet. Like it was just crystal.
No, it had that northern
blue.
Atlantic greenish look, so it was nice. It was cool. We saw, when I did go in and we did some snorkeling, I saw a barracuda, which was cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that was neat.
Fancy.
Yeah, but yeah, not the clear water that I would imagine you had in Barbados.
No,
that sounds really cool. Between the ATV, I like how you did all inclusive and not all inclusive, so you got a little bit of each.
And just make sure before you leave your all-inclusive, you leave with, snacks and everything to carry you, because we didn't have to buy water and they give you the Perrier, the bottled water, like the big Pellegrino. Sorry.
Whoa.
No, it was the Pellegrinos. So it was the bottles of Pellegrino that they give you. So that's also like I would do less days at the all-inclusive, because even the first 3 nights, by then I was like, dude, I cannot eat like this for 7 days.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. Cause even in the pictures, it's
all inclusive. Crystal, to me seems like when you get the suite at the sporting event or at the
arena,
at the game, I always thought that would be super cool. And when I worked for American Express, they had a suite and I hated it. But the reason I hated it was that I wanted to watch the concert or I wanted to watch the game. But the suite is so neat, that you got the cool sofas and the bar in there. And I would end up inside and I would miss all the stuff because I'm hanging out. It's like hanging out in somebody's apartment in an arena when Dave Matthews is playing right stage outside the door, So
that's funny.
I would rather have like front row seats where I can, see it. So all inclusive for me is tough for that reason, because I want to enjoy it. But I'm in Barbados. I love the fact that I could do the St. Lawrence Gap, or do the ATV stuff or the safari. That sounds so cool. But every time I'd leave the resort, I'm like, but that's money I'm leaving behind.
True. Right. Because those 3 days we did not eat, because when we left to go from the first resort to the second resort, our first stop was the grocery store. So we went to the grocery store to get some snacks and everything for the room too. So that was another a strategic thing that we did. But I would do less days at the all-inclusive, or even because now I don't mind moving, because I know a lot of people get, they don't like to move hotels, or just do one night and then go somewhere else and then come back. But then you just mess up because I think you can only go to the fancy dinner if you stay. I think the minimum might have been 3 nights. So that's why we stayed for the 3.
I had never considered that split stays.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in an area, just split stays just to try out a couple different things. Like, you know what I mean? Not even, I had heard about that first at Disney, people doing it, stay 1 or 2 nights at the really nice resort and, blow cash. And then the rest of the time, stay at someplace different. But I also love split stays just to try out a couple cool things.
Yeah. Yep. Because you're right. Leaving is like, okay, we are not having a drop to eat or drink off this resort because we've already paid. Even when we went clubbing, we did not buy drinks at the club.
Why?
We're not doing shots at the club. No, thank you. Like we went to dance, and then we went to club, dance, and then came back because we were dancing off all that food we had eaten.
You had to.
Like it was a necessity. Yeah, every morning we would walk, and then every evening we would walk. And it was only like maybe 2 miles round trip. That's not that bad.
That's a great walk.
In beautiful weather.
Oh, that sucks.
Take
That's
me
horrible.
back to the sun. Take me back.
I got to say, somebody who's lucky enough to hang out with Crystal a couple times a week, you were so freaking relaxed when you got back. You just seem like so relaxed.
I did get sunburned because off the resort, there's sand flies, and they're like mosquitoes, but at the resort, very good job of none. So one of the days we sprayed bug spray and with DEET and the sunblock, and it's like you're deep frying your skin.
Yeah,
because I did. It was a bad burn, but Lesson learned. Learn from me. Do not.
That's me, the
spray.
hat. I always forget the damn hat.
I mean, I
even got to remember this for the Christmas markets cruise, because even though it's wintertime, the sun's still going to fry my being out all day. Crystal, that sounds awesome. That is so fun. Any good, I got to ask the Crystal question. You bring back any cool souvenirs?
Shirley biscuits. All of my souvenirs were food-based. You got to buy the Shirley biscuits. And I bought them at the grocery store. They're super cute. They're not biscuits. They're crackers. They remind me, it's a cross between a graham cracker and a cookie, though, because they're like ginger, so it's not graham at all. But they're very good. They come in coconut, regular, and chocolate. So definitely get some Shirley biscuits. Get the sauce, the hot pepper sauce. That's very good. But I will be more strategic with taking. I have some travel empty bottles. They were some sample sizes of hot sauce. I'm going to fill those up next time so that I can bring smaller than 3-ounce bottles back. Rum, obviously rum also.
You had to bring rum.
Yes. Cockspur is the name of one of the runs. Ducey's is the name of the other rum. I knew I would think of it later. That one was very good. Foursquare is another one. Mount Gay is another one. We actually didn't go to the rum factory. I heard very good things about the rum tours. You actually get a free bottle of rum at the end of one of the tours.
Cool.
But I think it was because we were at the all-inclusive and we had so much at our fingertips. We were like, okay, maybe next time we'll go to the rum. But highly recommend the rum tours. The first time I went to Barbados, we definitely did the rum tour. I've also stayed, the last time we went, we stayed at the Crane. That's another really, really nice resort. But I think they've gone way up in price since we went like over 10 years ago. I don't know, but those are two good. But I brought back mostly food. The bakeries, I always want to call it Perry's. The name of there is a popular bakery there that they call it pudding cake, but it's more like pound cake for us. Mm-hmm. And then they have the turnovers. Those are very good. Like
you gotta stop
bakeries
this.
I know. Stop. And their salt bread is just like they're for. I've been using them for hamburger buns and with my tuna. So good. So I brought back food. So I wanted to keep the pounds going. I wanted to keep that scale going up after I returned. But I brought back a lot of.
I do like though, you keep a little flavor of it. We had from Greece some of this liqueur that they only make on Naxos. And as we're putting our house back together after this flood damage that we had, and I found the bottle, and there's this, all of a sudden I'm back in Greece,
not Ozo. What is it called?
It's so neat.
Oh, okay.
It's a green liqueur, and I don't have it in front of me. Didn't even know I was going to say it. Otherwise I would have. It is called
Uzo. It's not Uzo or Ozon.
Kitron.
Oh,
not citron, but Kitron. Yes. And it's this green. Well, it depends. They have green, a yellow, and just a clear. And that is how much alcohol's in it. But the green one I really like. It's really cool. That's interesting. That's fabulous. So that is Barbados. Thank you so much for sharing.
It's my pleasure. Please reach out if you have questions or any specifics.
I felt like in my brain I was there, and now I'm starving, and it's your fault.
I am starving, and it's your fault. The
music's coming up, Crystal, so it's time for the gear of the day. Earlier, I told you that this would help you speak, because Crystal just blah, 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 talks all the time. I had to give it back to her.
You got to have it on your nightstand.
For those people new to the show, she accuses me of that constantly. And she's not wrong.
I don't accuse you of it. I was going to say you do it. Just kidding.
We got kidding, not kidding, right? So this helps you keep talking. What do you think we got?
Oh, yeah, I didn't accuse you. I observed you. That's a better way to say it. I said tea or cough drops.
I've carried this on three different trips. If it's really easy in your bag, it's incredibly small. And it's just these Fisherman's Friend lozenges.
Ricola.
Yes,
I saw them in Switzerland.
But look at how small the packaging is. So
you
just put it just straight up and down, and there's 20 in one bag.
Fisherman's Friend. Why does a fisherman need it?
No idea. Because sometimes your throat gets salty.
Okay. Fishermen, please chime in and let us know why you need lozenges.
It's a menthol cough suppressant, oral anesthetic. So
cool.
As you feel your voice going, but also if you start getting that little cough,
Okay. Yeah.
Good
the
stuff.
tickle. Okay.
Yep.
That's a good one.
I have it when I need it. Haven't needed the last 3 times in a row, which is cool because then it just goes right back in my bag. But I love that I have it available and it takes up almost no room. So
that's really small.
Good stuff. All right. And we'll link to that at
stackingadventures.com/GOTD. And also, go ahead. Do you want to ask if they have Barbados stories or any stories?
Well, yes. If you have Barbados stories, any stories, please tell them to us. stackingadventures.com/mystory, all crunched together. Just stackingadventures.com/mystory. You'll have 5 minutes to tell your story. And you know what? And if you need more time, just call back again and tell us even more. But we have coming up soon, hopefully in December, we will have enough of your stories that we can go back to Barbados with you. We can go to a different Caribbean island with you. We can go to the river cruises like we did with Catherine and with Nathan. We can go to, where else have we been lately? We've been all over the place. We can go on a ghost tour. Like Crystal went on a ghost tour recently. We can go to Paris.
We know you're going somewhere. So you tell us, please, spill the tea.
Please. Take us with you. StackingAdventures.com/mystory. All right. That's going to do it for today. We're going to leave our next one a surprise. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. But
it's not because we don't know either. No, just kidding. We know. We actually do know.
So surprises on tap.
I'm excited about. You'll get to hear Joe again. There's your hint.
No, not on the next one.
Well,
I'll share it with you when we hang up. But it's not that one. Coming up, you will get my river cruises because that's coming. All right. She's excited. Crystal.
And I'm Joe. He's Joe.
See you next time.